It's called Old Dog, New Tricks. The dog's in the loo. We was teaching him to pee, and he just fell in. You gotta see a Yorkie. A Yorkie's all here and a snappy thing. When a Yorkie is wet, it's like a drowned rat. Have you ever seen a Yorkie scrabbling up a toilet bowl? Right, we go from the catastrophe of the dog to the catastrophe of the cat. This is called catastrophe. I was teaching in Leytonstone in London, and I was teaching a bottom set, and the bottom set were at the top of a very high building. I usually have a black Harry Potter coat, I have the long hair, and after I took all my 16 stone up those steps, I was sweating profusely and everything like that, and I kick open the door and I go, "Is this class 3C?" And they all go. So I thought I'd better kick off the class, and I said to them, "What were you doing last?" And they said, "We don't know." I said, "What are you doing now, love?" I said, "Would you like to do a poem with me?" And they said, "We don't know." And they were the smallest little 12-year-olds I ever saw. They were like little munchkins. And I got them together, and this is me and class 3C writing catastrophe. The cat peed in my dad's hat. My dad wasn't particularly pleased with that. He shouted, "Oi! No! Oh! Stop! Scat! Cat!" The cat answered me back. My dad said, "That's that!" The cat said, "You got to go. You got to go." We said, "No!" The cat said, "Exactly." My dad said, "It's either that cat or me." I still have the cat. Now that Dad's gone. We still miss Daddy sometime, but mostly we love the cat. My next book is going to be about my daughter Tilly. She was a gorgeous, delightful little girl. She hates me reading this stuff about her now and everything. She doesn't remember anything, but I do. I didn't write poetry back then, so I've taken to writing almost exclusively about it. So this is called, what's it called? Oh yes, it's called "I Feel Pretty." Oh, so pretty. And I was just about to step on stage, and the organiser said, "Oh, before you go on, I want everybody who reads tonight to tell me the genesis of the poem." And I was just about to read this, and I thought, oh no. Because the genesis of this poem comes from trodden testicles. Now, Jean, I don't know if you've ever had your testicles trodden upon, but I can assure you that it is a very, very painful thing. Now, Tilly used to come into us in the morning, and we were just sort of a fleshy landscape that she had to climb and get over. And she would step on my wife's left breast, and she would step on my left testicle. By God, do you wake up quick when that happens, Jean? Oh, the pain is excruciating. That is not about that. This is about a different time. We've been to a cocktail party, darling, and we're very, very hungover. And Tilly is going to come in at 3 o'clock. It is up. I look a bit the worse for wear, as you see me now. I'm worse at 3 o'clock in the morning. And this is called "I Feel Pretty." Oh, so pretty. Wig. Covered in glorious glitter, smelling strongly of PVA glue, sticking to my cheek, very hungover, and covered in blue, orange, yellow, red feathers. A bubble recently blown perched upon my nose. I still have comatose. Tiny bubbles travel amongst my curls as though, as through a bigger bubble brightly, nestling neatly over my right eye, I observe my tiny daughter purse her lips and kiss more bubbles into being. Tilly! I force my lips still frozen in sleep to somehow speak. What you do? Even my syntax and sentence structure is shot. She smiles sweetly. Fascinated by my voice, and she used to live in my voice, and she could never tell where the voice came from. So when she was tiny, she used to climb up a me, and she used to open my eyes, and I'm trying to pull the words out like that. So one day I had beetroot apple from her, and I said, blood. And it all happened. So that was the only time that she had that word as an actual word for me like this. This is called the Teller of Tales. Fragile as a little bird, you alight on my lap, weighing no more than a dream or a wonder would. You adjust your bony bum, perch, and command me to begin. Say the story. This is how the story always begins. Eyelash to eyelash, chin to chin. You gaze into my eyes as if the story already exists there, and my voice just calls it in. Whether it be Grimm or Hans Christian Andersen, you never take your eyes off my eyes. Your little hands hold the sides of my face, so you say you can feel the way the words move. And night after night, to your and my ever greater delight, you say the story. And the night listens as the big human weaves a world for the little human to get lost in and find herself again. Precious as water, little daughter, I carry your sleeping with your dreams. Thank you. She spoke of synesthesia. What's the matter again? Oh, don't cut my hair! Piss off, come on, piss off. My next book is going to be called The Smell of Purple. This poem kind of explains it. She says she can smell yellow. She says she can smell blue, despite not being able to spell either colour. Yellow smells the same as blue, like a wet kitty drying by the fire. Red smells like mummy when she kisses. Her kisses smell different when she kisses you. Then she smells like flames with little orange tips. Purple is my favourite smell. It smells just like a magic spell. I kiss her goodnight like a violet, only lighter, with little flakes of purple scattered here and there. Staying with smells and light, the next poem is called The Smell of the Light. We took a cottage and we're out in the sticks, and every night, you know, country dark, she'd never experienced this, and we're on a farm. It's her first farm, first animals, first everything. It's called The Smell of the Light. Tilly tells me she adores the smell of the light, watches intensely as I fiddle with the wick of her battered kerosene lamp. I smile as her eyes light up. Love how she loves everything with a passion. Adore is her newfound much-used word. So now she adores the rich ritual of lighting the lamp and all its accordant magic. Hand in hand we scatter the darkness that snarls and reluctantly backs away, but then creeps back behind us, its tongue lapping at us, licking its lips as if it would swallow us up. But it is afraid of the smelly light. The wind tries to blow us out. Scared, she clutches me all the tighter. I don't like the way the light makes the darkness darker. Her voice shivers. I catch her up in the crook of my arm. She cuddles closer as we walk on towards the barn, adrift in a sea of darkness. We, the only speck of light, no stars tonight. We, the light of the world. The pregnant cow lowing as if it knows we are coming. She nuzzles into me, a frightened little mouse jumping when an owl demands of us, "Hoo, hoo, hoo." Your chest is too tickly. she complains sleepily. "Ah yes, my little chickadee, IWC feels her. This never fails to amuse her. Our intertwined laughter and the smell of the light, dispelling the darkness, the pregnant cow delighted to see us." Thank you. This is my new book. It's called Being Dragged Across the Cat. Being dragged across the carpet by the cat. Say it right, for God's sake. This guy's let me down. He's doing all the ventriloquism. I'm just standing up there. And he's obviously been drinking and he can't get the title of the book right. I'll never work with you again, okay? Being dragged across the carpet by the cat. It's a new book, especially made out for the Fermoy Festival. So, I was delighted to be here. And I am, as I said, I am a Cork man. True, no matter what anybody says. So, I'll read you a poem called My Mother's Hands. My mother's hands washing potatoes, washing kids, washing pans. My mother's hands on bitterly cold days, pegging yet more washing on a pregnant line. The line grown nothing but nappies. Her hands blind with the cold. My mother's hands ironing clothes, ironing countless knickers for my 7 sisters. My mother's hands taking my hands in hers, such love, such laughter. My mother's hands putting talcum powder on another baby's bum. Mum being mum. Me kissing my mother's hands for all their time. Yeah. Called Man's Mind. Jesus, hold on. If you fall off that wall and break both your legs, don't come running to me. Could never understand my mum's mind and how it worked. One moment she had half a mind to come up there and get me off that wall. Then she was in 2 minds about whether to tell me to stop. Go ahead and kill yourself. See if I care. I'm warning you, child. If you fall off that wall and kill yourself, I'll personally come up there and murder you myself, so I will. I used to watch the words clanging out of her mouth and fly around the room looking for a place to land in my mind. Never cared whether she'd give out. I just loved everything she said, the music of her and how she made the words be clear. I came down and kissed her whirling away. I'm sorry that I told her. My good friend Fran left us. This is called Being Dragged Across the Carpet by the Cat. Title poem. Being dragged across the carpet by the cat. You fall on the floor. Carefully, I brush you up. Return to your urn. You sit upon the mantelpiece, gazing at the setting sun. And this is the story of Fran. It's called Fairy Tale. I sit beside your bedside, watching your dying. Only love nails me to this pain. I unable to escape your dying. I tell you Irish legends and Hans Christian Andersen, as you become again, if only for a little while, the child you used to be once upon a time, when wonder and delight were new as daylight. Tell me Lir, tell me the children of Lir. I tell of how they are turned into swans in the loneliness of eternity. I too lift nettles to break the spell, throw the garment over your cancered body, so you can return again to being the human I have known. This dying is cruel beyond belief, an insult to your life. I love you so much I would kill you if I could kill you, but I can't. I want every breath of you not to be your last. You journey to your death, dancing with your pain. My little mermaid, my little ballerina. I guard your dying, a constant tin soldier, as you become foam on the sea. Just a day ago, sucking the sultana I held on the tip of my fingertip, telling me to call your name. I love living in your voice, so nice, so nice. And I, a blind prince, wandering now lost in the fairy tale of your death. I close your eyes, kiss the last moment from your tears. Thank you. Ballet, and it was a delight of the mind like that. It just danced. It's the two Dempseys. It's just iconic. It's my Auntie Mary's moment, like very jam. It's my Auntie Mary's currant cake, and it's this field. My uncle's farm, the field in this poem, used to fall down to the Dónall Dempsey. Of course, I'm Dónall, and my sister used to sing to me, and Dónall swore, I-or, eat mart no more, a storm not cree, and it has a song with her, or river in it, and my name in it. And I thought that was utterly magical. So, this is a sequence of poem. It's why I'm always forever in that field. I don't think I've ever left it. It's called Koyo no Tobira, which is Japanese for the days. The first poem is Umankan, which means gateless paths. Here now, sister mine, lost in time, dead to this world, I offer you my eyes, my ears, so that you can see and hear without fear of death always interrupting you. Take this breath and live again. I can see enough for two. My Oju, the end of life. After the bus crash, her soul walked home, limping awkwardly now, leaving a trail of footprints, leaking time like blood. Ka'e, the shadow of flowers. Often I visit this moment long gone that has never ceased to exist. I go to find my sister, calling her name, lost as she is in the middle of this vast field, her blue dress aflower at the very centre of it. Here death does not know her name, only I call her. She carries me home in a piggyback, I fascinated with the freckle under the shadow of a curl where shoulder meets neck. I lost in her laughter, both of us escaping her death. Ame no Uta, songs of rain. Here death itemizes her. The bruised breast, the torn spleen, the broken ribs, the hemorrhaging. Death leaving his mark on this human being, familiar with her, owning her. Memory tiptoes into death's great palace and steals back a freckle lost behind the curl between shoulder and neck. Death has no need. Thank you. I used to love all the Cork people in my life. The Cork people in my life, I used to come down here, and Cork was a magical summer holiday land. I never saw it in colour. Watch out, he's behind Dónall, be careful! Jesus Christ! When barbers get it into their head, like, you know, they really, really stalk you. The only thing you can do with a stalk is to stalk him back. So that's why I'm stalking him now.
One card is never enough.
One card is never enough. The last time I let anybody put their pubic hair. So Cork is my land. I have a Cork dad, and he's from the whole Helicon set. And he used to peer over the cliffs, and even then they were crumbling. He was probably looking at some dead sheep that was straight off. And my mother used, or my grandmother used to be very stiff about it. And he used to go down to this lady, and she had a gramophone. And she used to put it on for him, and she used to play Over the Waves. And of course, Over the Waves became the love. So, the people that met me, if Cork were playing Kildare, I'd be shouting for Cork. It's as simple as that. I've got red blood in my veins.
The rebels.
I can prove it to you, alright?
On the rebels.
On the rebels.
On the rebels.
Oh!
Oh, until tomorrow. Ventriloquism is the worst.
Exactly.
Cheerio, the rebels. You're going down.
I used to follow my uncle around like a little duckling, and I'd go wherever he went, and he had his hat perched on the back of his head all the time, and he would put his tongue in his cheek like that all the time, and if we said anything to him, he'd always say, "Be the holy," or "Be the holy duck." And that was his catchphrase. I don't know, I suppose you do know the expression glig-lag, which is the sort of Cork for the nonsense you talk to children, and he used to glig-lag me a lot. My auntie Nellie used to say, "Don't be filling the child's head with nonsense, Jesus, can't you see he believes everything you say?" So, my Uncle Mikey is debating with me. This is called Uncle Michael alias God. His hands tobacco-stained, twisted and gnarled like an alive piece of wood. Scrawled gestures across my mind as the sick calf bucked in his arms and his quiet strength calmed. "Shh, shh, suck, suck," he crooned, and the sound soothed. And the veins like vines ran up and down his arms, pumping crude life like a sudden sketch to suggest the gist of rather than the meaning of things. And he walked and I ran towards Granny's garden like God tending Eden. And the gate, a little horse, sighed at his hand, and the leaves murmured like worshippers in a church congregation. And the sunlight genuflected through the trees, and the trees wore socks and apples. A tablecloth was laid on a loganberry bush. And the young tree gave herself to him, broke tenderly in his hand, and the knife whistled and whittled, and out of the branch came a man. And he told me, and I believed him, because he was good as God and strong, that the little wooden man, the silent statue, had been waiting all the time ready-made, waiting to be released from his prison of wood. "All things," he whispered, "all things are waiting for you to call them to come out, awake them, create them." The rhododendrons were blooming with amazement at this revelation. A dragonfly walked upon the water. A butterfly became infatuated with the flower. Me, I watched as his hands talked, explaining things that could not be said. And he took my hand in his, and I understood, flowed like a little stream into his big river, felt God close, near at hand, and smiled. Of the angel and Cadman. He goes to the banquet, and of course it's just like Cork. You were obliged to tell a story, recite a poem, sing a song, you know, whatever. And he was shy and he didn't have anything to say, and he ran home bawling his eyes up. And an angel appeared to him and said, so if you know your Old English, it's funny that scale comes out in Old English, the story comes out as scale as well. So it's called How it Scale Ik Singen. Sing me Frumsha. What shall I sing? Sing me creation. And she sang to him, and she sang of him. She sang of the love she had created for them. She used birds for words and the rain that had fallen. She used flowers and tears and interwove them. She used sighs and hours and the loneliness within them. She used moonlight and pain and what remained when she was far from him. She sang of a love that had dreamed of being and hadn't yet awoken. She sang of herself and called to him, And she sang of him and she sang to him. She sang of the love that belonged to them. She sealed it with tears and the fears of our hearts breaking. She sang him creation. Thank you. A nice young lady you can see holding the camera with my hat is called Janice. And when I met her, I was so stunned, I leapt into the little bit of Irish that I knew. So this is called Grandma Cree. It's a very old literary Irish way of saying, love of me life. The other word you need to know is ullastraw. Does anybody know what ullastraw means? It's an archaic Irish word. It's my favourite Irish word, simply because when I asked Mikey, and my Uncle Mikey, when did that happen, Mikey? He'd always say, because he was trying to fuck me off, he'd always say, oh, ullastraw, ullastraw. And ullastraw means the day before yesterday. Now, why you would need terminology for the day before the day, English people find this hilarious. I was telling my Chinese friends and they go, what? We do also have a word for the day before yesterday. So this is called Grandma Cree. Oh yes, when I'd ask him when that happened too, he'd say, oh, that was a granny ago, or that was an uncle ago, or oh, that was a bottle ago. And the clock was peeping, and I was always highly intrigued by this. So this is called Bran Macri. On a straw, the gra gan istan. Ac anish the gra gakin arch gakin rod. Love of my life. The day before yesterday, your love unknown to me. Now your love everywhere, everything. This is called your dancing again. Jesus, he's a nifty mover, I'll tell you that. Right, I had the pleasure of having a heart attack. When I say the pleasure of having a heart attack, is that I had one and I survived. I don't know if you've ever had a heart attack. I was talking to my girlfriend, and her name is Philomena, and we were having an ordinary thing like breakfast. And I was just about to say something to her and use her name, and I said, I meant to say Philomena, and I got as far as Philo. And then I had my heart attack. And she said, my face went, Jesus. She said my face went as white as paper, as white as that a human could not be. And my lips went purple. And the only reason I'm alive today, I believe, is that she thought I was taking the piss on her. And she got up on my knees, and she bent on me like that, and she said, you bastard, don't die on me! And it was that CPR that brought me back to life. And I said, Mina. And I completed her name. This is, when you have a heart attack, by the way, the pain is excruciating. Absolutely. It's the pain beyond all known, that passes all understanding. This thing comes across your chest, a metal thing, and it gets tighter and tighter, and you can't possibly bear it. And then, just at the height that you can't bear it anymore, it turns into bliss, and it becomes awesome. And it's like the romantic quotes thing of something being so terrible, it's beautiful. And that's what it is. And then Lady Death comes up to you, kisses you on the lips, and you say, oh, can I go with you? And she says, and she leaves you alone. You go, no, let's go with you, Lady Death. And she's gone. So this is called, Michael, sit down. Are you good? I know you're good. You're gorgeous. Jesus Christ. Your littlest smile. Deaf, rather diffident, rather shy, comes to me and says, it is time to die. Okay, I say, when? What? Like, now? I struggle with my heart attack as Death, feeling a bit bad about it, repossesses my artifacts. Outside, the van pulls up with neat Gothic script. Death removals. It spells out in big letters. I like it. Death's got style and a nice smile, and is a kind of groovy guy. Or is he a lady? It's hard to tell. This heart attack hurts like hell. Okay, boys, take it all away. Death's little helpers, all big bruisers over 6'2", former nightclub bouncers. They take away the blue sky under which I had first kissed you. They take away the little day-to-day things I always loved. The shape of your mouth, your continuously falling hair, brushed impatiently away from your eyes. Your eyes. The smell of your perfume in an empty room, the littlest of your smiles I had saved for a rainy day. Meanwhile, like a living Houdini, I had done it, somehow wrestled out of Death's straitjacket. Damn! Death spat in a peevish manner. How in God's name did you do that? Dead side. Okay, kid, you got me this time. Right, boys, put it all back, put everything back. These boys scowled at me as if to say, you! Death snarled from the side of his mouth. Night now, no more Mr. Nice Guy. You! I'll see you again. A tear trickled down my cheek, unable to speak. All I could do was glance down, your littlest smile clasped tightly in my hand. Thank you.